In this video, you'll gain an understanding of what Civil 3D is and the capabilities of the software. You'll gain an understanding of how Civil 3D objects differ to those within other pieces of CAD software that you might have used. You'll gain an understanding of how the user interface is laid out, and you'll learn how styles and settings are used within Civil 3D. Civil 3D is an advanced CAD software used within the civil engineering industry, with features to improve drafting, design, and construction documentation. Civil 3D can aid the design of civils projects such as highways design, drainage, or landscaping. Civil 3D is built upon AutoCAD with the addition of civil-specific features and tools. Civil 3D objects such as alignments, profiles, or corridors differ from those within traditional CAD software as they have dynamic relationships with each other. So for example, as we change the profile labels will also update, as well as the corridor and the surface that reference the alignment. The appearance of Civil 3D objects are governed by the object style. This can control properties such as the line type and colour, which we'll come on to later on in this video. Now let's take a look at the Civil 3D user interface. When we first open Civil 3D, we're brought to the Start tab. From here, you can open files, create a new file from a template, and on the right, we have our recently opened files. But we can change this by clicking one of the three options on the left, which are recently opened, BIM 360, which is Autodesk's cloud storage system that's integrated within Civil 3D, and a Learning tab, which gives us access to helpful content. We're now going to move on to the user interface when we open up a drawing. We'll start at the top left of the screen where we have the Civil 3D application menu. Within this menu, we can create, open, save, export, publish, and print drawings. And we have access to the drawing utilities, which allows us to control a lot of the drawing settings, such as units and display settings. It also gives us access to tools such as Audit, which will perform an audit on the model and find any errors or bugs within the model. Across the very top of the screen, we have the Quick Access toolbar, which has a lot of the tools that are within the application menu, such as Open and Save, as well as the Undo and Redo buttons, which allow the user to undo recent commands. We can add or remove icons from the Quick Access toolbar using the drop-down at the end of the toolbar, and then clicking the tool that we want to add. We also have the ability to remove a tool by right-clicking on them and clicking Remove from Quick Access toolbar. If we want to add a tool to the Quick Access toolbar that's not in the drop-down list, then we can right-click on it in the ribbon and click Add to Quick Access toolbar. So you can really customize the toolbar to your specific requirements. We're now going to have a look at the ribbon. This is where you're able to access the majority of the tools within Civil 3D. We have different tabs along the top of the ribbon that allow us to access different ribbons, and each ribbon is separated into sections called panels. So for example, this is the Create Design panel within the Home ribbon, and will contain commands that allow us to create and design objects. Some panels also have drop-downs that contain more tools. Now there's one more type of ribbon that's called the Contextual Ribbon. This is the ribbon that will change depending on which object you have selected. For example, if we click on the alignment, then the Alignment Contextual Ribbon will open and give us access to tools associated with that object. Within the Home ribbon, the first panel we see is the Palettes panel, This will allow us to open up different palettes and also toggle on tool space. Tool space is a palette that we can drag around or dock to one side. Now you should see 4 tabs within the tool space panel, but if you don't, you can toggle them on and off using the buttons on the home ribbon. The main tab you'll be using is the Prospector tab. This tab lists all the objects that are stored within the drawing, such as surfaces and alignments, and allows us to work with objects in a non-graphical view. The next tab is the Settings tab, and this is where all the settings for the drawing are stored, as well as the styles for different objects. The Survey tab can be used to manage survey, user and system settings, as well as survey data. This tab displays survey project data organised within databases for survey projects, equipment, and figure prefixes. The contents of the Survey tab are not specific to the drawing. This tab reflects the survey data in your Autodesk Civil 3D Projects folder, so it facilitates access to the survey data from multiple drawings. And finally, the last tab is the Toolbox tab. This has a list of tools such as the Report Manager that can be used to create reports relating to your Civil 3D objects. There are also other tools in here which can be executed by right-clicking and then clicking Execute. We're now going to have a look at the Settings and Styles. The Settings and Styles can be found within the Settings tab of Toolspace. The way that the settings are laid out is within a hierarchical system. For example, if we right-click at the very top, we can edit the settings for the entire drawing. So we can click Drawing Settings, and then from here we can edit things like the units that we want to use and the coordinate system. This is useful when we want to use any of the mapping tools, such as adding a map overlay. Now if we exit that dialog and we right click on, say, pressure pipe, we can edit the pressure pipe settings. And if we click Edit Feature Settings, we can change things like the units when working with pressure pipes, or the default styles. If we exit this dialog and expand pressure pipes, we can see we have access to the styles. The styles are going to dictate the appearance of the object, and we can see the default styles by expanding pressure pipe style. We can also add styles by right-clicking the pressure pipe styles and clicking New. Most of the useful settings are going to be within the Display tab. Here we can choose components of the object that we want to display and in what colour. And we can choose how we want them to display with regards to things like line type and line weight. We can use the drop down to choose what view direction we want to edit. So for example, we might want to edit the object to only display in profile view. So you could toggle off all the components in plan view by clicking the light bulbs. Styles can then be applied to an object by right-clicking the object within the drawing and editing the style property of the object.